I think a lot of us are very curious to see what the PlayStation 5 Pro will be able to offer in terms of improvements, right? So there's a lot of games that are already out that are clearly going to get more graphical enhancements and things like that. And I think we all kind of want an idea of what exactly that entails, right? Like, to me anyway, that would make sense. Like, when we were getting an Xbox One X or a PS4 Pro, we got things and it said, oh, okay, well, this is enhanced and here's what it's offering, true 4K or, 60 frames or this or that. People really kind of wanted those kinds of bits and pieces of information. And now it looks like we're getting sort of the first idea of what a PS5 upgrade could be. Now, this is a very early thing. Now, I'm not kind of making cover for PlayStation or anything like that. I'm sort of not out there doing that. I'm not going, oh, okay, well, this is exactly what this is kind of lame or whatever, because this particular instance, doesn't sound like it's a tremendous enhancement. But again, this is a game that's been previously out for a while, actually for many years. And so when we see these enhancements, you go, okay, well, that doesn't sound good. But I think games that have yet to come out are going to be even better than this. So anyway, No Man's Sky PS5 Pro upgrade was data mined. Visual improvements have been revealed. Hello Games No Man's Sky has received a significant update recently, and a data mine of the update files has revealed specifications for a potential PlayStation 5 upgrade. Exciting stuff, folks. The leaked specifications were found in the update files released by Hello Games. This patch includes a customized graphics preset for new hardware, codenamed Trinity, in the update file. This codename aligns with the rumored internal name for the PS5 Pro. The first image is for the Trinity graphic preset, while the second one is for PS5 itself. So I'm going to link this to you guys. You can check it out. Interesting data mining stuff right here. Anyway, based on the graphic preset, the visual improvements for No Man's Sky do not seem to be substantial. The dynamic resolution scaling setting has been increased from 0.6 to 0.8, indicating a higher average resolution. Some graphics details have been upgraded from high to ultra, but these changes are minor. They do not appear to be any significant enhancements to visual quality. PS5 Pro is expected to offer more than 30 T-flops of raw GPU power while sharing the same CPU as the PS5, but with a higher clock frequency. This setup mirrors the transition from PS4 to PS4 Pro, which also saw a raw resolution increase. Essentially, games running on a PS5 Pro compared to a PS5 will primarily benefit from improved resolution or the ability to run ray tracing without compromising graphics quality or performance itself. Since these details are sort of speculative, they should be treated with caution, as Sony has not confirmed any specifics about the PS5 Pro hardware or even acknowledged its existence. However, leaked specifications suggest that the new hardware is real, and it's only a matter of time before Sony makes an official announcement. Whether announcements will happen this year or before the launch of GTA 6 next year remains to be seen, but it is important not to expect games to automatically perform better on the PS5 Pro, as the CPU is still a limiting factor. But again, it's very interesting to see this kind of stuff happen. I believe it was a situation where it was supposedly, where the upgraded resolution was going to be. So, we'll see what happens in the future with that. Like I said, I expect a lot of things to improve significantly with the PS5 Pro, especially on some games. But again, so we'll see what happens at the end of the day for this anyway. According to this anyway, this could be a little bit of a glimpse of what we're going to see. Kind of what's going on with this. So we'll see. There was already a takeaway from reported that maybe it wasn't going to be a huge upgrade to some games, a slightly better CPU and a beefier GPU. An early analysis by Digital Foundry had speculated before that for simulation-heavy games like Grand Theft Auto 6, a PS5 Pro would certainly improve performance, but not get close to managing 60 frames in 4K. In that regard, the new hardware keeps sounding more and more like a PS4 Pro, which offered enhancements but didn't feel like a must-have upgrade. But the other big question around the PS5 Pro is when it will actually launch. I think a lot of us are kind of very interested in seeing what's going to happen right there. It's one of those things that us fans are kind of looking at and kind of questioning just a little bit anyway. Like I said, it could be interesting. So many keen-eyed viewers have noted that no radical changes for No Man's Sky PS5 Pro upgrade. The increase of the lowest dynamic resolution factor for the game, like I mentioned earlier, 0.6 to 0.8, and the base resolution for No Man's Sky on the PS5 Pro from 1300p to 1730p are the only ones worth noting. So you get a bump of some pixels and stuff like that. These changes will result in clearer and more detailed visual experiences. Other than that, some settings have been upgraded from high to ultra, enhancing the overall visual quality of the game. Players have expressed disappointment with the minor upgrade for No Man's Sky. They had hoped for more, such as the game running at 4K on the mid refresh, but a bump to 1730p isn't that significant. Also, many wonder what frame rate they can expect on PS5 Pro for No Man's Sky. Some players have also raised valid concerns about the files mentioned of NVIDIA's DLSS and reflex technologies, considering PS5 Pro will run on AMD's platform. On the current topic of the PS5 Pro, there's always going to be something there, I think, that people are going to be talking about or whatever. And, again, like I said, I think we're all kind of curious to see what this thing has to offer. I think that games that are newer or that actually were developing for for the PS5 Pro are going to be much better off, in my opinion. I think that that's going to be sort of the case that we see there. At the end of the day, I do expect the PS5 Pro to be a pretty beefy upgrade, especially, I think, like I mentioned, for people that are actually trying to, do something special with the game itself, with the platform itself. Like, some games are going to obviously take huge advantage of it. I think like that Venom game, like, anything that Sony is working on themselves, I think clearly would be taking advantage of the platform hardware in a much better way than probably what we all would expect. So, again, some games are going to be like this and maybe not have tremendous upgrades since it wasn't built with it in mind. But, I'm very interested to see how things kind of handle and work out in the future of this, because I do think stuff like GTA 6, which will release after the PS5 Pro, what that means for it, just in general, like Death Stranding 2, obviously that's going to be worked on with the PS5 Pro in mind, and that's not the only game. I think there's a lot of games out there that kind of do that as well. So we'll see how it all works out. I'm incredibly interested in seeing how Sony handles this and how developers handle it. Obviously, there's probably going to be quite a few developers that really take advantage of it and love it. I can imagine Rockstar is one of those, because Rockstar is one of those companies that realistically did such a good job with Red Dead Redemption 2 on the Xbox One X, right? Like, they weren't afraid to take full advantage of it. You got native 4K on the platform. So yeah, very interesting to see that. And at the end of the day, I think that's one of those things that people are going to kind of remember. If they can push it and they can get great games like that, like, that game's guaranteed a 95 plus Metacritic or whatever. So we'll see how that kind of works out. I think people are extremely excited for the game. And again, are people going to run and get one for that game? I think obviously the answer is yes. Is it going to be millions of people? Probably. I could see that working out well for Sony's favor, but I think we're all interested in it. And just because this isn't exactly the amount of improvements that we would expect, I still think that we're going to see what's going on. So anyway, what do you guys think? What do you guys think about this? I'm very curious and would love to hear the thought process behind a lot of this. Like, are you guys interested in a PS5 Pro? Are you waiting to see how some of the games look? I always think that, whenever we showcase games or whatever, it's kind of like at YouTube, right? You don't get a good idea of it due to compression. It just compresses stuff. So kind of is what it is. But I'm looking forward to seeing how these games look, how they run, and very curious to see, the future of of Xbox and PlayStation. So it should be interesting to see. Sony's going with a mid-gen refresh. Xbox isn't. Is that going to work out for Sony better or Microsoft better? We'll have to wait and see. But thank you guys for watching. Please subscribe and like if you enjoyed the content. Rack 'em up. Crap Gamer out.